Coming to you live from the home of the podcast, of this podcast, the Black Goat 39 Studios. This is the Guru Talkin Sports Podcast, episode 68. And now here's your host, the Guru of Sports.
Thank you. Thank you. Much too kind. Thank you. Will you please take your seats and clear the aisles. Hello, sports fans, and welcome. Welcome to episode 68 of the Guru Talkin Sports Podcast. I am your host, the Guru of Sports. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have a very, very packed Guru Talkin Sports Podcast today, and I just want to say thank you all for joining me and giving me 39 minutes or 44 minutes or whatever it takes to do this of your time to listen to this podcast. I really appreciate you tuning in and tell a friend about the podcast, because we're trying to build up a reputation of giving you sports, not the usual takes and gibberish that everybody else has, but I want to do it on my terms, be able to splash it out there and give it to you on, what I see in sports. All right. Before I start, I do want to say I'm wearing my New York Islanders jersey, and it's a throwback because Tavares is on there and he's no longer on the team. He's not with another team. So I'm wearing that throwback jersey, and I'm also wearing a New York Mets hat because the orange and blue is the only thing that has a resemblance to the orange and blue of the New York Islanders. And I just wanted to say that, I'm going to go into that in a few minutes, but I want to say my hockey season is over because the last team standing was the New York Islanders that I was rooting for, and they are now out of the playoffs. And I want to give a shout out to a new friend of mine, Upside Down Mike, and I want to tell him that, I stand with you, and I feel all you Islanders fans' pain. I do. I'm not an Islanders fan, but I tell you one thing, I feel your pain because it's gut-wrenching to get there to the doorstep twice and not being able to go through the door. I understand. Believe me, I'm a LA Kings fan. I like a few different teams, but LA Kings is a team I usually follow all the time. But, it's hard when you get there and you're not able to get to the next level. My heart goes out to you Islander fans. It really does. And it gives me great pleasure to know that a great fan base, other than, my Kings, the Islanders, all these original 6 teams and, all the teams in the NHL have a very, very good fan base. I would like to see the sport being marketed a little bit better. Give it a little bit more emphasis on the style of play and the players, and, just build it up a little bit. Now, I've been watching hockey since about 1975, so I'm dating myself right now. But I want you guys to know that I love hockey. I've always loved the game of hockey. And I say this as an African-American man. I know that hockey wasn't the biggest thing in my neighborhood when I was growing up, but it was interesting to me. I got hooked on the Philadelphia Flyers was the first team that I actually recognized. And, Peter the Puck, if any of you guys can, go back and research that. And that's like I said, that's dating me, because I go back a ways. Kate Smith singing and, Mean Gene Hart, the Flyer days. Those are the good old days for me. The Philadelphia Flyers back then, 74, 75, when they were in the Cup Finals. And
the team that they lost to, I can't even say their name anymore because they have broken my heart a couple of times. The only thing I gotta say is, yeah, the Habs, they have broken my heart a couple of times. And I really, really hate to say this, but I am not a fan of either Tampa Bay or the Habs right now. I don't care who wins the Stanley Cup right now. That's how I feel. And, Islander fans, you guys will be back next year. I've been following you guys for the last couple of years, and I know that you guys are resilient. You guys are getting a brand new stadium out by Belmont Park. And I know it was hard to see the team lose the way they did. And, 1-0 on a shorthanded goal. And, Nassau Coliseum, I heard, was one of the best venues to watch a hockey game. And I my heart goes out to, you Islander fans out there. All right. Before I really wanted to get that take in, that information in secondly. I don't do takes. I just talk about stuff. I hate to do takes and sports stuff, more, traditional sports stuff that you hear on the radio. I like to do it my way because then it's more or less like a conversation with you guys. I know I was getting ready to say with you people out here, but I do like to have a conversation. I'm actually trying to get more guests on, and I haven't had more guests on because, like last week was Father's Day. And I want to mention something about Father's Day. That was the best Father's Day gift I have ever had in my life. My son sat here and read a little poem that he wrote, and it takes a lot for him because Caden Guru is a great kid. I'm not saying that just because he's my son. Caden Guru, if you ever met him, you would know that he was a good kid, never in trouble. Always does his schoolwork on time and everything. And he does what he has to do to stay a productive member of society. That is one of the things I instilled in both my sons. Dante Guru is a great, great young man. He's engaged right now and he's about ready to do a big move. He's going to move from Atlanta to Dallas. And he's going with his fiance, and she's a doctor. And let me tell you something. That is something that I always pictured for him. I wanted him to be able to be a great young man, which he is, and, grow into a man that will be responsible, a man that will be trustworthy, and a man that will be great for his future wife to be. With that said, I just want to say for both my sons, I really appreciate, you guys. My life has been, a life. And I can say one thing, that if you guys just continue to do what you're doing right now, you guys will be successful. And believe me, I don't take credit for your success. I don't. I do not take credit for my son's success. They have it on their own. My job is to basically give them a little bit of guidance and show them the things that I made mistakes on so they can do better. Okay? But, that was a great Father's Day gift. And like I said, I don't need a whole lot of stuff. But I do really appreciate my sons looking out for me and taking the time out to acknowledge me as their dad. And, as you can hear in that little poem that he wrote, or speech that he wrote, that I directed him to God, which is one of the things that I try to do. It's always a good thing to mention the Lord Jesus and mention that, and him saying that I guided him, which is a good thing. I really appreciate that. Okay, now, we did talk about hockey, and like I said, I really feel bad for the Islanders. I really do. Just to pay tribute to them, I actually, like I said, I'm wearing my jersey and my, it's a Mets hat, actually, Mets hat. But it's the same color coordination for the Islanders, and I just want to give shouts out and big props to them for a great season. Okay. Now, I'm going to definitely talk about this Major League checking for sticky you know what I'm saying, sticky substance patrol out here. You know, it doesn't make any sense to have to do this, but Major League Baseball have done this now, and Rob Manfred has just sent out his goon squad, his bully squad, which is the umpires, to try to, you know, make sure that these guys are doing the right thing. You know, it's kind of sickening because, you know, Sergio Romo dropped his trousers, and, you know, I know it was kind of jokingly, and everybody was joking about it, but, you know, you want to check them, you know, check them right before they go into the dugouts. Not on the field where, you know, 75,000 people or, you know, how many people are out there watching somebody do this. You know, it doesn't make any sense. But now Max Scherzer and Joe Girardi got into it. And, you know, Scherzer was saying, hey, I wiped my head because it was hot out there and I'm sweating, you know. And I kind of understand that. I like Scherzer. But Joe Girardi got a point because he's making a point of, hey, how many times have he done this? And he keeps doing it constantly. You know, I can understand a man, you know, Phillies manager Joe Girardi having to check him, and that's his prerogative. But come on now, you're just holding up the game. And, you know, I don't understand this. Now, you want the game to go by faster, but yet and still, you want to check these guys like 3 or 4 times in the middle of a game or whatever, and that's holding up the game. So what do you want? You want faster results in baseball and hits and home runs and, you know, the strikeouts coming down a little bit? Or do you want to check everybody to make sure that they're doing the right thing, which they should be doing, you know? No unfair advantage for pitchers over hitters or hitters over pitchers. You know, we had that steroid era, or whatever. But you know what? Let's just move on with the game. You know, I want to see a good baseball game. And I hate to say this, but I haven't watched a really good baseball game this season. I maybe watched a couple innings of a couple of different games. And speaking of which, you know, my Dodgers got no hit the other night in Chicago. Combined no-hitter for the Chicago Whites or Chicago Cubs, which is the first time in their history to do that. And for the Dodgers now, that's their 9th time being no-hit. It was just something else. I got up and I was on the road. Like I said, I travel a lot. So I actually heard the ending of it, and maybe the last couple of pitches, and Craig Kimbrell struck out the side, and that was it for the Dodgers in that game. I just, you know, baseball is getting to be kind of out there to the point where I don't know where it's going. Hopefully we can get baseball steered back in the right direction. I know that it's taking a lot of heat because the NHL playoffs are going on, and you got the NBA playoffs are going on, and a lot of people are not tuning in. But still, do something spectacular to get baseball back on the right track, please. With that, I got to go into a little bit of basketball. Now, I sat here last week and told you guys that the Atlanta Hawks would win that game. No, Caden Guru said I was wrong. But I ended up being right. I hate to say this, but the process is dead. Process is dead. You just got to move on. Take your lumps. You know, be the laughing stock and be embarrassed. And go on. You know, how do you think the Philadelphia fan feels about all that losing and all that collecting the assets? And collecting the assets to get what? Ben Simmons? Wow, Ben Simmons. I ain't even going to start on Ben Simmons, but the thing about Ben Simmons is that he's got to do something. How can you score 19 points in 3 games and call yourself a superstar? Philadelphia need to really, really look at this process and say, do we want to keep this guy? Now, Doc Rivers said that at the beginning it was his fault and everything, and Joel Embiid said it was his fault, but next thing you know, they turn around a couple days later, he could be fixed. We would love to have him back. You forget where you're playing at? Believe me, Ben Simmons, you can't run and hide from Philadelphia fans. They will find you. And believe me, they're not too forgiving. We all know that. So, good luck to you, Ben. Whatever you do. I thought I saw something on ESPN saying that the Shanghai team over in China was looking at him. That can fix him. That can get him up out of there. Because believe me, if he comes back next year and they go through the same thing, let's just say the hit will hit the fan. I didn't say the S word, but the hit will hit the fan. You know what I mean. All right. Clippers and Suns was very interesting last night. I did stay up and I watched that. I was actually up by myself last night. Cade Guru wasn't here, and he'll be back next week, hopefully. Paul George and his free throws, man. Did you see the look on Steve Ballmer when he missed that free throw? His head just dropped. But then again, DeMarcus Cousins had a chance to, and he know the rule. Come on, why are you going to throw it and hit the backboard? Come on now, you know the thing has to hit the rim. Suns get out of there with an 84-80 win. And to tell you the truth, Chris Paul looked like he was back. He was hitting those fadeaways, those mid-range fadeaways. And it looked pretty good. Devin Booker, I think, was adjusting to the mask, looking like the Phantom of the Opera. But then again, he took that thing off. And he looked like he was trying to get back a little bit. They didn't waver. They led that game from start to finish. Clippers never had a chance. It seemed like as soon as they got close, they made a little run in the third period. The first half for them was terrible, but the second half was a little bit better. But it looked like they were going to make a run, and I think they got within 2 points, or they might have tied it at one time. But the Clippers were, they were just kind of a little bit disappointing. All the stuff, and that ball did touch, what is his name? Number 15. I can't think of his name right, but it touched him, and they gave the Suns back the ball. And that, I'll tell you one thing, the replay on that, I thought I was watching an NFL game. Replay in basketball, it's been overturned. I'm like, come on now. Yeah, it's like going back to game 2 when they said it, the last 40 seconds ended up until like real time of 33 minutes. Come on now, y'all got to do something about these replays. Get them down quickly. Maybe they can have like a 3-minute clock or something like that to where if you can't get it in 3 minutes, get a ball back to the team or whatever the original call was. I don't know. But something that's got to be done. All these replays are just kind of, it's kind of interesting, but then again, it's like, come on, we don't need all these replays. And like you said, I could have went down to a place and grabbed something to eat and come right back, and they're still talking about the last 40 seconds or so. All right. Now, I do want to say congratulations to Chauncey Billups because he did get the Portland Trail Blazers job. Chauncey Billups should have been head coach a long time ago. But then again, good things come to those who wait. And I think he might try to convince Dame Lillard to stay in Portland. Because we still don't know if that's still up in the air. Becky Hammond didn't get the job, but believe me, she's deserving. I hate the word deserving. I shouldn't have said deserving. She has earned a right to be a head coach in the NBA. As for a few other women that should be coaches in the NBA. Kara Lawson. I don't know. You give me a couple more women names. I would say probably yes to those. And I just, Becky Hammond has been highly touted as a great. She should be a great NBA head coach. Now, it doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman. Now, in WNBA, you got men coaching women, and you got women coaching women. It doesn't matter. To me, it's not a matter of when, if, but when. I know. I said it wrong. Oh, God. I know. Guru doesn't think right sometimes. He just has a lot of stuff on his mind. He's trying to get it out there. All right, the Olympics is next month. And really, I haven't watched any Olympic qualifiers. I know that the women's basketball team is going to be good. They're going to take gold again. The men's team, not too sure. But I know that Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown is on the team. I'm not sure why they're trying to pick up Kevin Love. He's basically, dud. We don't need him. Anyway, Olympics, I'll give you more information on Olympics next time when I do have some more information on it. And I know that the Olympics is very important because we didn't have it last year. But I really think that it's going to be a pretty good summer games. And to tell you the truth, it would be nice because of all the stuff that's going on. We're opening up back. The country's getting, open up back again. Hopefully in Tokyo, it'll be a little bit better. Hopefully. I'm not sure what their situation is on the pandemic or whatever. I don't know if athletes are going to be wearing masks while they're running or doing all their games and all. But it'll be good to see the Olympics, and hopefully we can see Olympics where everybody's out there competing and having a good time and doing what they have to do. All right, I did watch the episode of The Shop the other day, and it blew me away when I heard this from Tom Brady.
One of the teams, and they weren't interested at the very end. I was thinking, you're sticking with that mother.
Anything you've ever heard me say, I didn't mistakenly say it.
When I'm on stage, something inside of me wakes up. But when I'm off stage, I'm Scott.
I'm a completely different person than you see on the floor.
I'm not here to answer serious questions. I know a lot of men watch this show, and I'm looking for some post-COVID action.
That was a promo for The Shop, the second episode in this new season. I thought it was pretty great. Tom Brady did say something about a team that he was looking to go to, and they said, well, they're sticking with their quarterback. And Brady said, you mean to tell me you're going to stay with that MF? I don't want to say the word. You know what the MF means. But only teams I can think of is either Chicago, San Francisco, or Las Vegas. Those are the only three teams I can think of. Maybe there was someone else. I don't know. But when I heard this, I thought it was one of those three teams. The Shop is pretty good. Like I said, Maverick Carter, Draymond Green, Chelsea Handler, Kid Cudi, and Paul Revere. They did a great job. I really like the show. I watch it a lot now. I actually did watch the first episode, and it was pretty good. I do want to mention a show that went off a couple weeks ago, but we've been so heavy with other stuff. I know I kind of overlooked it and all like that, but I want to give a big shout out to the cast and crew of The Queen of the South. The Queen of the South was a very, very good crime, drug story. I'm not really, I don't promote anything like crimes and drugs. I don't. But, some of the stories that you see on television are very interesting because of the characters. Now, I did mention before that I've been shouting out and been, talking to Paul. Paul G. I'll just say Paul G. I don't want to mess up his last name because he's a really good guy. He does talk to me on Instagram and everything, and I really appreciate him. JT Santos. he's a really good guy. I've been talking to him on Instagram, and when he has his live feeds, I usually jump in and ask him a couple questions or whatever. But he's a really nice guy. Everybody in the crew was amazing, and I hate to see it go, but the ending was so great. I mean, the ending was great. Not like, oh man, you mean to tell me all this for this? No, this ending was perfect because it had me on the edge of my seat. I told you guys before that this was a show that you don't know what's going to happen next week, keeping you on the edge of your seat, always having you guessing, always having you thinking something happened when it doesn't really happen, which is good. That's what I want. I want to be entertained by stuff like that. And I was, and I really appreciate that. That was awesome. The way they ended that was awesome. And believe me, that's one of my favorite shows of all time now. I'm saying it's up there with Breaking Bad. Definitely up there with Breaking Bad. One of the other shows I've been watching, like I said, I don't get a chance to watch all this stuff in real time, or I usually come home from the road. I'm usually traveling. DVR is the best thing. I think is the best invention. And DVR, I have been watching this show called The Chi. Now, it's about Chicago. Now, right now, they got a situation where a former drug lord, kingpin, is actually the mayor of Chicago. He just got shot last week. And if you're up on it, you know what I'm talking about. Now, I did watch the episode this morning because that's one of the shows I have to watch early in the morning. Because if I don't watch it early in the morning, I won't be able to watch it late at night because I usually go to bed around about like 7:30 or whatever, because I do have to get up early and be on the road. So, that show, The Chi, is pretty good. The characters in there is really, really good. Good writing. Common, I got to give it to you, man. This is really, really a very interesting show. And it was shocking to see who the mayor got shot by. Brandon's and Cootie's mom. Yeah. And you remember her, she played in, The Wire. She played in The Wire. She was a cop in The Wire, which is a really, really good thing. Like I said, I really, really appreciate some of these shows. I do get a chance to watch them, on DVR. And like right now, if you have to ask me what's on my DVR, okay, I can tell you. This is what's on my DVR right now. Okay, I'm going to bring it up because I'm actually sitting here looking at stuff, and, I think NBC Tenet issue is on. Now, here's a couple things that's on my DVR. Meet the Press, CBS Sunday Morning, I always watch that. Eyewitness News Morning, I usually watch that. Dr. Charles Stanley, I watch that. The Green Hornet, I watch. Cigar Time. Cigar Time is one of my favorite shows. It's really, really interesting because it gives me a little bit more background on some of the things, some of the cigars that I'm looking forward to, trying to get or purchase and basically smoke. Mannix. I've watched this show, this series. Now, if you don't know what Mannix is, it's a great show. It's actually back from the 60s, if you go back that far. It started in 67 and ended in 75. I love the show. I watch it all the time. Joe Mannix was like one of my favorite characters of all time. Let me see. I have the Jim Rome show on. Matter of fact, I wanted to talk about the Smack Off from last Friday. I want to give big props to Rick in Buffalo, Dan in Denver, Jeff in Southfield, and my man Sean the Cablinasian. I'm not going to mention the winner because the winner to me is not the GOAT, if everybody says he is. My GOAT, the one I think is the greatest of all time, is actually Sean the Cablinasian. And those other three guys, Jeff, Dan, and Rick, are coming up to their level, coming up to his level. Okay. Like I said, he did have a good line. He did have a couple good lines. I got to give it to him. But Pat Beverly, that was a great line. I like that. I thought it was pretty funny. Okay, now I'm still looking on my DVR. I got this show called Sins of the City. It tells you about different crimes that happen in different cities. I think the last one was Baltimore. Tampa, Memphis, Dallas, Minneapolis, Atlanta, Philadelphia. Oh, yeah. Philadelphia's got to be in there, right? A show called In the Dark is pretty cool. It's about a blind lady that she basically gets into a lot of stuff. I think she's like a detective or something like that, but you know, it's a pretty good show. I like it. Kung Fu, the new Kung Fu, it's on the WB channel. I watch that. I like it. Okay, Bugs Bunny and Friends. I have that on there because I love Bugs Bunny and Friends. Every Saturday morning when I get up, or if I'm home by Saturday morning, by 9 o'clock, me and my dogs will sit in there. Me, the dogs, Miss Guru, we'll all sit in there and watch the beginning of it because they come marching in, and that's like one of my favorite things. Now, if you go to my Instagram channel, Instagram page, you'll see see them marching in on there. Okay, I got Mike Tyson on there, the knockout. I forgot to watch that. I still got shows from the fall, SWAT, Chicago PD, which I really love, SEAL Team, This Is Us, FBI Most Wanted, All Rise, Saturday Night Live, Big Sky, Prodigal Son, The FBI, Bull, City on a Hill. Okay, I didn't watch this. This is the Basketball Hall of Fame enshrinement. I still can't really watch it because I'm still emotionally upset over Kobe Bryant. Mayans MC is really good show. I love that. Marvin Gaye's What's Going On. This came on 5/9/21. It's about the 50th anniversary of Marvin Gaye's song What's Going On, the album What's Going On. If you haven't heard it, you should listen to it. It's very, very interesting. Green Acres, I like Green Acres. I know it's kind of strange, but I do like Green Acres. I have a thing on here about jazz, the history of jazz, which I really like. I like history too. Lincoln, Divided We Stand is on here. The 50th anniversary of Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier fight. Twilight Zone. I love the Twilight Zone. Twilight Zone is one of my favorite shows of all time. I love Twilight Zone. Transplant. Transplant is a really, really good, sneaky show. It came on last year. I got the last 2 episodes of it. And on the last 2 episodes, I think was 2/1 and 2/8 of 2020. I haven't watched them. I'm going to watch them because I do want to clean out my DVR because most of the time the DVR gets clogged up with a lot of stuff on there. And I don't have room for other stuff because, like I said, if I'm on the road and I might, I wanted to mention that I do have General Hospital on there. General Hospital is one of my favorite soaps of all time. I don't usually watch any other soaps. I don't have time to watch soaps, but I do. When I get home from work, get home from off the road, I usually watch General Hospital. Now, okay, so that's all the stuff that's on my DVR. Okay. I know this was, wasn't supposed to be a DVR show, but, like I said, the Guru talks about everything. Now, next week I am efforting a cigar guru, which I really need because if I have a cigar guru, I'll know what to smoke when I'm out on the road. And it's great that, I'm, in contact with this person and we're trying to get her on. Yes, it's a her. And believe me, she's great. And I wouldn't bring anybody on the show that if they're not great. Now, ask Dave May Jr. That's my man. He'll come on anytime. He's always invited. And hopefully we can get her on and she'll be always invited as well. Unfortunately, now I have to play taps because we lost a couple people. And one person is not really known. And I will tell you some more about him after we get the bugle Taps Bugle. Here it is. Want to say goodbye to Ned Beatty. He was, I think, 81 years old. Ned Beatty was a great actor. He was always like a second shoe actor, more or less. I mean, I'm saying like a background actor, but he was great. Remember him? He played in Roseanne. He started his film career in the Deliverance, which is a horrible movie, but if you have to watch it, you watch it. But Ned Beatty was a great character actor. Now the second person, hold on, give me a little bit more on the bugle, please, sir, Mr. Bugler, please. Okay, you're gonna start all over. Okay, the next person I want to mention is not known to everybody out there, but I just want to say I want to pay my condolences and say goodbye to Bala Lagoon Robinson. Now that name is not familiar with a lot of people out there. It's not familiar with anybody that's not in the South Bridge, Delaware area. Bala Lagoon was a legend, a Southbridge legend in my part of the woods, because that's where I grew up. All right, Mr. Bugler, bring it down a little bit. Thank you, Mr. Bugler. Appreciate that. And let me finish on Bala Lagoon. Now, I know that's a weird name, but I never asked him what it meant. His name is it's a really good name. He was a great guy. He was a great guy, and he was like a mentor to a lot of guys, a lot of kids growing up in my era. Great attitude, personality, always fair with everybody. Always would tell you stuff that would make you think and make you say, well, if some kids were going off in the wrong direction, he would try to steer them back in the right direction. He told me one time, he said, because we played a lot of softball and baseball and stuff like that. He told me one time, he said, you got baseball potential, but you got to know how to use it. You got to know how to use it, and you better, try to form that baseball energy into something positive. And you know what? It did. I got to thank him for giving me the encouragement. And I ended up trying out for the Montreal Expos years ago. I know I didn't make it, but to tell you the truth, he was one of the focal points of my life, to where he gave me something that I had to remember and gave me something, encouragement to try to do it. I'm all about positivity. That's my thing. I'm a positive person, try to do the right thing. And, if you look on my pages, I got a lot of inspirational stuff. I thank you, Bala Lagoon, for giving me that opportunity. I really appreciate you. I'm going to miss you. May you rest in peace and be safe. You're with God now. I know that. And I'll see you one day. All right. I got to wrap it up. It's about 38 and a half. I know I'm supposed to be done at 39, but I'm not. All right. Like I said, call the show anytime. 302-468-7239. 302-468-7239 is the Guru's phone number. Follow me on YouTube, the Guru of Sports Show. Facebook, Guru Daily Shorts on Facebook. I'm El Briscoe. IG, the Guru OS39. Instagram. Instagram is the Guru OS39. And Guru's Kids, DAE, Daisy, Alex, and Ellie. Gmail is the Guru Daily Shorts at gmail.com. Twitter, I'm on Twitter as Mac and Bear. Goat39 is me. Goaty is on there as Black Goat 39. Goaty, where are you at? He doesn't do anything, just sits around and looks at people. Podcast Spreaker is the main vessel that we come out of, but where you can find us all over the place. We're on everything. We're on Google, we're on Castbox, we're on Podomatics, Podcast, iHeartRadio, iTunes as well. I got to give big props to my man Damian Adams, the real deal with Damian Adams. You got to give him a big shout out. Give a big shout out to Mr. Jeff Duarte, Cali Sports News. I'm still with Cali Sports News. I haven't written in a while, but my condolences go out to you, Jeff. And I know how it is when you lose one of the members of your family. I understand. We'll talk soon. And like I said, I was on the road most of the time. I'll definitely talk to you soon. I want to shout out Miss Mary Mack, the Mary Mack Show on grief. Just ask Mary Mack. She knows. She will get you through those hard times. Give a big shout out to my hip-hop brothers. Danny Rivera, hope you had a good Father's Day. Jeff Shepard, hope you had a good Father's Day. Happy the Original Pioneer, hope you had a great Father's Day. Reggie Reg, hope you had a great Father's Day. King Charlie Prince, hope you had a good Father's Day. Positive K, hope you had a good Father's Day. Cool Kyle Star Child, the original Star Child, hope you had a great Father's Day as well. My crew, Caden Guru, the executive producer, he's not here, and Board Op, he's not here today. Vinny V, my executive technical advisor, Ray Guru, I just spoke to him this morning. Mr. Ray Guru is a musical engineer and great brother. Hope he had a great Father's Day. Dante Guru is a backup co-host to the co-host. And Derek B is the co-host with the co-most. I know he had a great Father's Day. He was chilling with the little one. Now, our motto is, as our motto is saying, this has been a Black Goat production for Black Goat Entertainment. Copyright 2021, all rights reserved. We don't steal from nobody. We don't try to take anything that's not ours. We only earn stuff because we don't deserve it. We don't, you know how I feel about the word deserve. And you know what my saying is about deserve. That's it. I ain't going to say anything else. But I want to say to you guys that we really appreciate you listening. We really appreciate your time. Go out there, have a great Sunday. We'll be back next Sunday. Oh, I meant to mention to you. I do the show on Sunday mornings because I like to get up early enough to watch my shows, Meet the Press, and Sunday morning. And I like just doing it on a Sunday morning where I can get up and have a good time and get ready for the next day of traveling, which is tomorrow. All right, folks, I'll be back next week with episode 69. Hopefully I'll have a guest on next week. I'll keep you informed during the week. Take care of yourself. Stay positive. Always stay positive. Do your right thing. Treat people with respect, and they'll treat you back the same way. This has been the Guru. I'll talk to you real soon. We don't have any outro music, do we, Goldie? All right, I got 2 words for you. You're fired. Anyway, I'll talk to you guys soon. Goldie will be back here next week also. Take care. Guru will see you soon. The Guru will talk to you real soon. Later.